Hey guys, it's me, Jen. I had a request to do a tutorial on how I create my thumbnails. I'm just going to show you guys how I do it. I'm sure there's 100 million ways to create a thumbnail for videos. And you might find somebody else who does something a little differently, and that's okay. This is just the way I do it. So the first thing that you need is a Casp Pose. And that is a pose that is a mod that allows the little character in your cast to make different model-esque poses that you can snap pictures of so that they look really cute. So there are a million cast poses out there, and you can go to the sim resource. That's where I am right now, and there are tons of different poses that you can download. You just have to find one that you like. There's also different cast backgrounds. So what I want to suggest to you is when you are doing a thumbnail, if you are planning on removing the background from your thumbnail, say you want to have this character superimposed with other characters, or you want to superimpose this character on another scene, make the background as plain as you possibly can. The more solid color it is, the easier it's going to be for you to remove later in post. Also, take into consideration what your character is wearing. So this girl right here is wearing white pants, so you wouldn't want her on a white background because her pants would disappear. So if I was doing this girl, I would put her on a black background. If I was doing these girls over here, I'd put them on a white background. You can get a ton of different backgrounds, so it just depends on what you want your After Effect to look like. So just keep all that stuff in mind. Each Casp pose is going to be connected to an in-game cast trait. So there's going to be different poses that are connected to lazy, neat, snobby, glutton, all of the different traits that we have in the game. There's going to be a Casp pose attached to it. So if you download two Casp poses for the same trait, like say you download two different Casp poses for the same lazy trait, one is going to override the next. So just keep that in mind. And also, it's best to just have like one pose dedicated to each trait. That's way you have a lot of variety and you're not constantly overriding yourself. All right, you guys, now I'm on Create a Sim. I am in a white background, and this is my little model here. I think she's very pretty. Let me give you guys another little piece of advice. Alpha hair is really hard to remove the backgrounds from. So I'm just trying to look for a good example. Like this hair right here, this is mod hair, but this is Maxis Match. So this is going to have clean lines. It's going to be very easy to remove the background from that. I'm just trying to look for some alpha hair that I don't have a lot in my game because I'm not a big fan of alpha hair. It's just not my thing. But let's say this hair. I love this hair. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But see all these little frays and these little doodads? That is going to be an absolute nightmare to try to remove a background from. So if you're going to use something like this, I suggest just keeping the background as is and just working with it that way, because you will just, holy cow, it's just going to be a time. Even this kind of hair, see all those little all these little frays and things, the more textured and detailed hair is, the harder it's going to be to remove the background. So you want like clean lines. That's just a pro tip from me to you. Save yourself some trouble. This girl is so pretty. Like, she legit looks good no matter what hair color we put on her. Goals. Okay, so another thing that I want to tell you guys is, if you want to have a thumbnail where your sim is going to be close up to the camera, I suggest closing them up right now in game, because if you take a picture of your sim this far away and then want to have them closer up like this, it's going to look pixelated and like a hot mess. So just, if you know that you're going to want to close up, start close up to begin with. Another thing that I can suggest is, if you're doing a thing where you're trying to put 2 or 3 sims in a thumbnail, try to find a part on the body where you can kind of measure so that they're all zoomed in the same amount, because that can be difficult if like one girl was zoomed in this much and then another girl was zoomed in this much, and it makes it harder to match them up. You're going to be doing a lot of scaling and stuff, so try to find, if you can, maybe put all the same bottoms on them so that you can be like, okay, I'm going to go up to this knot is going to be in the center, and I'm going to know that that's the right place. It's just something to think about. These are all things to think about so that later on when you're in post-production editing your photos, you're not going to be like, oh my goodness, what did I do to myself? So next thing you want to do is go into your cast traits. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I never remember really which trait I downloaded, so I just randomly click on traits until I find something I like. So I'm just going to click, and I don't know where my Casp poses are. I think I do have one in Goofball. There you go. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna cycle through, and you just gotta let it cycle through. And there's no way to really skip a pose, and there's no way to go back. So what I like to usually do is I let it cycle through one time. I try to make a note of whether the pose I like is in the beginning, in the end, where it is, so that I can kind of redo the pose and be ready for it. Once you find the pose you like, in order to take a picture of it, all you need to do is hit the C on your keyboard, and that's going to take an in-game screenshot. Don't worry about all this hoopla that's going on around all of the menu and interface and stuff. That's not going to be there, so don't worry about having to get rid of that. So I'm going to just look and see what other poses I have. And if they're not posed, they're just going to come out like this, like the regular in-game animations. Okay guys, so once I finish with my photo session, the next thing that I do is go into Photoshop. Now, if you don't have Photoshop, do you hear my desk? That is just a weird sound. Sorry guys. Squeaky desks. If you don't have Photoshop, there is a free software called GIMP that you can use, or you can just opt to get a beautiful background cast so that you don't have to do this step. But if you do have Photoshop, let's do some things. If you do not have Photoshop, I'm going to timestamp where to pick up the tutorial from there. So anybody who doesn't have Photoshop, skip ahead. The timestamp will be below. Anybody who does have Photoshop, stick with me, kids. We're going to do some magic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go find the pictures that we took, and they're going to be in Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4, Screenshots. Okay, so we have all of these wonderful screenshots of our girl. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag them all and put them into our Photoshop. You're going to see a collage of all of the pictures that we took. So there is a lot. So we're going to click through. We have a lot. I took a lot of this girl. Okay, so let's click through and see which ones we like versus don't like. We'll go with this one. I like her. This is the hardest part sometimes, choosing the one you like. We're going to go with this one. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remove this background. Now, if you wanted to, we can just go in here and we can change the color of the background. So let's say if you wanted to make this black, you'd go and change this color to black, and then you'd go up here, see where this square that looks like a gradient is? You would want to right click on that and select this, and then boom, it's black. So that's an option if you just want simple colors. That's a way to do that. We're not going to do that though. We're going to instead go to our eraser, and then we're going to go all the way down to this one. I cannot read what that says. I just know what it does. My eyes are bad. So click on that. It's the third. So click on right click on the eraser, go down to the third choice. That's the one you want. And then once you're on that, you just want to click on that, and it removes the background. Now, see this area right here between her like side and her arm? You have to get that too. Make sure that you get all of the holes, or else when you go later on, it's gonna look dumb. So just make sure that you're very careful and you get all of the cutouts. Now, once you have her like this, you can do a couple of different things. You can move her over a little bit. You can scale her up and down. You can do whatever you want to. We're going to keep her like this because this is good. So we're going to keep her like this. Now let's say we had a different sim and we wanted her to be in the thing as well. I'm just gonna find a good one that I like. There's not a lot that I took that I'm really, really happy with. I'm looking, there we go. Okay, here's a close-up of her. So let's say we wanted a close-up of her. What we'd want to do is we'd want to go back to our eraser tool, go to the third one, get rid of them. Once we have the background removed, then you just want to click on this little square thingy, or this little broken line square thingy, select her. Then we're going to select, you can do cut or copy, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do cut. And then we got to find our original girl. I don't know where she is. There she is. Okay. And then once you find your original girl, then you're going to hit paste. Oh, it's raining. Okay, once you hit paste, then you'll be able to slide this girl around however you want. And this is how people get like multiple people in a thumbnail sometimes. It makes it look like they're all standing next to each other, but it's an illusion. So once you have them the way you want them, then you go over here. Say if I wanted this girl in the back instead of this girl, because right now she's in the background, all I need to do is go over here and click on her and drag her down like this, and now bam, this girl's in the front. So that's how it works. That's how it works, kids. But I am just gonna keep this girl because I like I like this girl better. So when you want to get rid of somebody, all you need to do is right click and then select delete, and she is gone. So we're gonna work with this girl now. So you can keep her like this if you want to. It's totally fine. Then if you wanted to get a picture, I'm just gonna go in real quick to show you how you can do this. If you just want to make this easy on yourself, I'm gonna find this picture right here. I like this picture. So see this picture right here? We're gonna open that. What we're gonna do is we're going to drag across with our little broken line tool. Then we're gonna select copy. We're gonna go find our original wherever it is in this monstrosity of stuff. Where is she? There she is. Then we're gonna select paste, and then we're gonna make sure that she's on top. And see, it kind of looks like she's standing in there. See how that is? See how that goes? So you can take your sim and superimpose them anywhere. They can be in Paris. They can be in New York City. Wherever you want them to be. And it looks like she's like legit standing right there. So that is one option that you can do if you want to do that. That's a cool option. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to do something a little different, then you can just get rid of this. Then what you can do is you can leave this girl like that, and you can create a new layer. So you go up here where it says layer, and then you're going to create new, and then layer, and then click OK. So now you have this beautiful blank layer. You want to make sure the blank layer is below her so that whatever you do here doesn't affect here, because you don't want to jack yourself up. Always make sure that you're working on a blank layer. So now with this blank layer, if I want to make the background black, I can do that. And or any other color I want. Just let's do yellow. Let's do pink or purple, whatever color this is. Let's do that. So now we can do that. Wait, why did it go white? Sorry guys. It is getting late progressively. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're good. Purple. So you can pretty much do whatever color you want to, and you can keep it like this. If you want to get even fancier, if you really want to get fancy and you really want to feel like you're going to impress people, you want to right click on this and go up here where it says gradient, and you want to pick a contrasting color. Alright guys, this is where the magic happens. So you slide this little baby down to like here. Now you don't have to pick the same color. You can pick a totally different color. It's up to you. It's however you see fit. Then you can start at the top and go down, or you can start at the bottom and go up, or you can start this way, whichever way you want to. You're basically drawing a line. So however you want to draw the line, you draw the line. You do you, boo. So what I like to do is I start right here, not directly at the bottom, but like sort of near the bottom, and then I draw my little line up like this, and bam, gradient. Look at that. Does that not look freaking gorgeous? Oh, I love it. I think this makes a background pop. I think it makes it look so profesh, and I just like it a lot. It just does it for me. So let's just do a step backwards. Let's go back in here and let's try to do a different color. Let's do a yellow, because yellow and pinkish purple look really good together. And let's do this, and let's try to go up from the top and see. I mean, you can just keep playing with it however you see fit, but you see how that looks? It just makes it look really cool. Okay, so we have this background as a possibility. Let's see what we can do to jazz this girl up, right? So what you want to do is you want to click on her layer, you want to right click, and you want to go to this one, modify options, I think it says. I can't read it. I just, you know, like, you know what it is, you just don't know what it says. Can you feel me? That's how I live my life. Everything in Photoshop, I know what it is, I know what it does, I just don't know what it says. I'm just used to where it is and I know what it does. So click on that. This is going to give you lots of different options. You see right here where it says stroke, stroke, stroke. You want to click on one of these strokes, and I never remember which one it is. But you want to click on one of these. There it is. That's the one. And this is going to be how she, you know, you see all those thumbnails and they have that fancy outline that's like, that makes them just pop. I always wanted to know how to do that, and that's how you do it. You go to blending options, and then you go into this second stroke, and then this is where you can manipulate the size of the stroke, you can manipulate the color of the stroke, you can manipulate all these fun cool things. So that is just an option there. You can make this bigger or smaller. I mean, you can just go to town if you want to. I feel, in my opinion, you know, something that's like this is probably the best size. And you can make it contrasting colors if you want to. Just click over here. I personally don't like to make it different colors because I like the white. I think it pops. Well, let me show you one other thing that you can do just in case you ever feel the need. Go back to blending options, and there is a section in here where you can do, is it color overlay? I believe it's called, that's what it is, color overlay. So like if you ever want to do like a mystery makeover, making over a mystery townie, ooh, who we making over? And it will kind of like get rid of them for you. So that is how you make different types of backgrounds and stuff with Photoshop. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this one right here, because we're going to go into another program that I love, and I'm going to show you guys how to use that to the fullest. Let's delete this. Bam. Okay, so now we have our girl in our pose. She's got her white light, her white outline, and we're going to save her. So you're going to go into File, then you're going to go into Save As. Then you're going to go into, I would save it on your desktop. You can save it wherever you want to, but I would save it on your desktop. And make sure, because it's going to naturally save as a Photoshop document, you do not want it to save as a Photoshop document. You want it to save as a PNG. So that is the way to do it. So next we're going to go to one of my favorite sites at it. I love this site, and if you do not have Photoshop, this can help your thumbnails look really nice without like Photoshop. You can also use GIMP if you want to, but I've tried GIMP. It was not easy to use, but you can try it and you might have better luck than I do. So let us edit a photo in Photoshop. Why am I getting the old version? There's a newer version of Photoshop. Hold the phone. Let's go over here. You always want the newer version of whatever you're doing. Okay, here we go. Look at all my thumbnails. That's one of the things that I do love about picmonkey, is that it saves all of your thumbnails so that you can have access to them. It's like a little memory scrapbook. So we're going to go to create a new thumbnail. Now here's where, if you had a picture of, say, like New York City, or a picture of something that you wanted your sim to be in front of, you would just click on your computer. But I don't, so I just want a blank template. So we're going to go to templates. Then we're going to go to a blank canvas. Then we're going to go to YouTube, where is it? There it is. Now, once we're in YouTube, we're going to go to YouTube thumbnail. Just whatever, that's not important. So now we have our beautiful blank thumbnail. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into, see these little shapies right here? It says graphics. We're going to click on that, and then it says add from your computer. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to go find our girl. There she is. Gonna bring her in. Bam! She looks great. Cannot see the white line right now because she's on a white background. We need to change that. So let us look and see. Let's go and make sure that this is clicked. And we're gonna go look at some different backgrounds. See right here where it says, I can't read what that says, but that's where you want to go. So we can put her on a glitter background. That looks pretty dope. I like it. So there's tons of different options here to make like a really cute thumbnail. You can do this. That's something. Now, picmonkey is a paid service, but they do have free options. So it's just going to be a matter of like what's available. This is kind of cool, this copper one. I like that. It's something different. So that's there as well. And oh, I like that one a lot. That's interesting. So there's lots of different options. Ooh, that's pretty. So I like this one. But they have like animal prints, they have space themes, they have wood. I mean, there's like a ton of different backgrounds that you can choose. And so like I said, some of them are paid, some of them are free. You just have to see which ones you want to get, but you can definitely use it for free. Now we're going to click on her picture again. See this like little thing that goes back and forth? This is your layers palette, and this will help you kind of choose which layer to click on. So now we want to click on her because we want to mess around with her a little bit. So we're going to go over here and we're going to go to auto adjust. I'm going to let them auto adjust. I do not like what they did with her. So we're just going to go back here along the bottom and undo because that did not look as good as I wanted it to. Right here, there's an effects. This is kind of like Instagram filters. So we're going to click on that. Then we're going to mess with her a little bit. We're just going to bring this brightness down a little bit. And you can just keep applying filters as much as you want to. I kind of like this filter. I think that looks pretty. Maybe we'll scale it back just a little bit. And then once we do that, if you want to make her pop even more, we can do the effects. And then we can do this. And that will give a little shadow, and that looks really cool. Okay, so see how she just pops, like she just pops right off there? Okay, so now we're gonna add some words because we need words. Words are important, so we're gonna add words. So I'm gonna teach you guys another trick. So I say so a lot. I notice that when I edit videos. Sorry guys. So, how to make a, do I have caps lock on? Dork. How to make a thumbnail. We're just going to leave that blank. Thumbnail is going to be a different font. So, how to make a thumbnail. Oops, sorry. This is turning into a how to use picmonkey tutorial. How to make a thumbnail. I like impact. Always use something that has a big, bold, whatever you want to call it, because that is going to stand out the most when people are trying to read. Does that look right? How to make I've misspelled things so many times, you guys. It's not even funny. So what I want to do is I made this. I'm happy with it. It's all gravy. I want to go into this. Now, what you can do, you guys, you can get a little creative with this. You see how she has the white outline around her? It's like a solid white outline. We can kind of mimic that. We're just going to make this white. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to go in. This is like a pro tip, you guys. Pro tip. You're going to go into intensify, and you're going to ramp that up like that. You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? Then you want to go to angle, and you want to try to angle it in the center as much as you can. You have to kind of play with it a little bit. You get it. And then you're going to go into distance, and you're going to, oops. What did we do? Okay, there we go. See what I'm doing here? And then you're going to go to scale, and you're going to scale this baby. Why am I having a hard time here? I'm going to scale this baby back. And then you're going to go to fade, and you're going to unfade it to make it more solid. We are almost done. We're almost done. It's almost the end. I'm so excited. Okay, so when you're ready to export, it's going to say specify where your exports go, and you can do this if you want to. It'll just let you pick the folder. I'm just going to say maybe later, because it'll just go to your downloads folder if you do it that way. So bam, and it's letting me pick anyway. Well, that's okay. So it's just going to go to my downloads folder, save. And that is pretty much it, you guys. Now, just make sure whenever you make a thumbnail, you want to scale it back like this far. And if you can still read everything when it's this far, then you know that it's going to be a good thumbnail. Hopefully this gave you some inspiration to make your own thumbnails a little bit better. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my content, please subscribe, hit the bell. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And just remember, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.